Have you ever wondered how someone could fly one of the most advanced and frankly most secretive aircraft on the planet for more than an entire day without ever landing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on how B-2 bomber pilots survive missions that push a human being to their absolute limit.
And I mean that literally. We're talking about missions that can stretch over 30, sometimes even pushing 40 hours. That's from the moment the wheels leave the runway to the moment they touch down again. It's just a staggering amount of time to be awake, alert, and doing one of the most high-stakes jobs in the world.
And during that whole time, there are no layovers, no flight attendants, no hot meals being served. It's just two pilots, their incredible stealth bomber, and a whole lot of mission ahead of them. And that's really what these flights are. They're not just long trips, they're marathons. Marathons in the sky that test not just the technology, but the very edge of human endurance. So, you gotta ask, why? Why are these missions so unbelievably long? Well, it's because the B-2 Spirit is all about global reach. From its home base, right in Missouri, it can be sent to pretty much any spot on the globe, Europe, Asia, you name it, all without ever needing to touch down. So what is it actually like to be inside this incredible machine for that long? Let's, step inside the cockpit and get a feel for the world these pilots live in while they work, eat, and somehow try to get some rest. Okay, try to imagine this. For more than a day, maybe a day and a half, your entire world is a space about the size of a van. Yeah, it's pressurized, it's climate controlled, but let's be real. Comfort is not the main goal here. It's all about function. And of course, stealth. The setup is, well, it's Spartan. You get the absolute bare essentials and nothing more. There's a little microwave, a cooler for your food, a tiny toilet, and a small padded area where one pilot can try to catch a power nap. Every single thing on board is there for one reason, to keep the crew ready for the mission. Now, with a setup that basic, you can probably guess that what you eat becomes a huge deal. And we're not just talking about packing a few snacks. We are talking about a super detailed, meticulously planned nutritional strategy. And let's be clear, planning the food is taken just as seriously as checking the weapons systems. What a pilot puts in their body directly affects their focus, their reaction time, and, the success of the whole mission. It's fuel, pure and simple. So you've really got two kinds of food for these flights. On one side, you have your mission-critical stuff. Lean proteins, complex carbs, things that give you that steady, slow-burning energy. And on the other side, well, those are the mission-ending foods. Anything heavy, spicy, or greasy that could make you tired or uncomfortable is a definite no-go. The goal is to keep the body fueled without ever distracting the mind. They even have a specific strategy called a low-residue diet. And honestly, it's just incredibly practical. It basically means the food is chosen to, well, produce less waste. And that is absolutely essential when your bathroom is barely bigger than a closet. All right, so we've got the cockpit environment, we've got the mission-critical food. Now let's actually put it all together and walk through what a real 37-hour mission looks like, phase by phase, right from the pilot's seat. These four things right here are the crew's lifeline. It's not about just toughing it out. It's about a smart, disciplined routine. Small snacks for study fuel, caffeine used like a precision tool, quick power naps to reset the brain, and just constantly sipping water to fight off dehydration in that dry cockpit air. Okay, hour one. The mission kicks off way before the sun is even up. After hours of briefings, the pilots finally take off and settle into the very first phase of the flight. Right out of the gate, these first few hours are just incredibly busy. They're navigating, they're talking with air traffic control, and they're already getting ready for their first mid-air refueling. There's no time for a big meal, it's just light snacks, half a sandwich, a protein bar, just to keep those energy levels from dipping. So, as they head out over the ocean, the whole rhythm of the mission starts to shift. They're settling in for the long haul. And this is where a real routine starts to form. One pilot takes the controls while the other gets a short break. This is also their first chance for a real morale boost. A hot meal from that little microwave, maybe some instant oatmeal, but that rest is always short because another refueling might be just around the corner, and that requires both pilots to be 100% focused. Okay, this is it. This is where things get really, really tough. Deep into the mission, usually in the dead of night, the body is basically screaming for sleep. Welcome to the fatigue zone.
Now, this is where all those survival strategies become absolutely critical. Caffeine isn't just for waking up, it's used surgically, timed perfectly to maintain sharpness. The pilots start rotating tasks more often just to stay engaged. And those small, energy-packed snacks are the key to keeping the brain fueled and firing. After more than a day and a half straight in the air, the end is finally in sight. But the mission is far, far from over. This is the final leg home. Even though they are completely exhausted, the pilots have to execute one last perfect refueling, manage a complex landing, and then, once they're finally on the ground, they have post-flight debriefs. Their job isn't done until that plane is secure and the mission is completely reported. When you step back and you look at this entire operation, a really clear theme just jumps out at you. It's all about this incredible partnership between the human pilot and the machine. And it really comes down to this simple truth. The B-2 is a technological marvel, no doubt. It can stay in the air for days, but it's completely useless without the incredible discipline and endurance of the humans who guide it, because they are not machines. The flight path, the refueling, the food, the fight against fatigue, it's all one massive, intricate survival plan. So after seeing everything it takes, I'll just leave you with this one question. Honestly, do you think you could handle a marathon in the sky?